was a long and cold drive, but the next day I would find myself waking up in the Santa Fe National Forest. I actually drove really late through the night through lots of high desert and just bare roads in the middle of nowhere to get here. I was so excited. There's just so much to explore and no one around. This was just perfect for me. So let's go and see where I end up. This national forest was just so big with so many winding roads going in all different directions, so I'm really just taking the whole day to explore and find all kinds of cool spots and hopefully one that I can settle down for a while in. I actually made it into the outskirts of this national forest late in the night, and I actually am pretty sure I saw a mountain lion, but I can't be 100% sure and I didn't get it on camera. So that really sucks, but I'm keeping my eyes out for more because this is definitely their habitat and there definitely are some here. After exploring for a while, I spotted something kinda cool.
No way! I was just turning around.
And this wasn't even the only antler I found here. They were all over the place. But just after finding that antler, I actually also found a perfect spot to camp out. I actually ended up driving right up to a massive canyon. I could even see a massive river flowing through it. It was really amazing. I could even see the massive white-capped mountains that I left behind in Colorado. So before I go searching for any more antlers, it's time to settle down and cook some food. I was really hungry after driving all day searching for this spot. And also, sorry about that little blurry thing in the camera. I guess I was just too distracted to notice. I mean, with warm food and an amazing view, what else could I have asked for at this point? This spot really astounded me. But don't worry, I'll wipe it off in just a second here. I was also super excited to try these new marshmallows I found. I mean, that's just gotta be the perfect camping dessert, right? Had this hot fire already going, so let's try it out. Not gonna lie, I do like my marshmallows a little overcooked, and they were great. Waking up to this view the next day was just amazing, and I definitely knew I wanted to spend at least a week or two here, so started to set up my camp a little more. I wanted to make sure that my setup could handle any strong winds coming my way off this mesa, so I used my winch actually as a roof line for this tarp, which kept it very sturdy and I tightened it very taut. I do like to sleep in my hammock when weather permits, but I generally sleep on the inside of my truck where I keep all my cleaning essentials in the front so that I can get in the back into the bed all nice and clean at night. It's a very comfy bed, but I end up doing a lot more to the back in later episodes, as you'll see. It was pretty nice weather while I was staying here, so I did set up my hammock just in case I wanted to look at the stars or whatnot while I sleep. I even put this giant mat under it so that I wouldn't drag too much dirt around. Yeah, and actually there was a fire pit already here, so I was just chopping up wood, cooking up food, I had my little grill on there. Yeah, just the basic camp necessities. Back in the bed here is where I keep most of my stuff. Food, tools, all kinds of stuff, but I'll give you guys a more in-depth tour of what's back there in a future episode. I did have to pull out some of my sewing gear today though. Had to patch up my leather jacket and leather pants. Ripped them up really bad back when I was in Missouri, when I was winching my truck out of that little stream, so yeah, I just took the day to relax and smoke. That's what I keep in that case, all my smoke stuff. And I set up camp obviously, and there's some of my food and some of my homework I was working on up there. You can see my turtle shell and the antler I just found. And coming around here, you see that little leather bag. I keep utensils in there and stuff. I have my knife and my napkins and food that I keep there when I'm preparing food. And yeah, I'll go to the other side of my truck in just a second to show you what I got over there, but it's hard not to just film this view every time I pass it. But yeah, let's go check out the other side here. So yeah, as you can see, I just parked in between these two big sturdy trees and roped in my winch line under the tarp. And it works very well, and I tightened it to make it very sturdy. So here you can see I have my little sink. It's a siphon with a water pump, and I got my dirty laundry. And yeah, while I was here, I also reinforced that tarp with some metal sheeting I had and some wire. And it's very strong now. I don't have to worry about tearing it at all. Yeah, and in addition to adding that metal sheeting around all the grommets and stuff on the edges of the tarp, I added these hooks so that I can tie it up and fold it down like this if I ever need to. I don't use it like this that often. Everything stays in there pretty dry anyways, but if I ever need to, I could even sleep on the tonneau cover in there like that. It doesn't cover it perfectly, but I have plenty of time to make adjustments. I actually even had time to give myself a pretty good haircut. All I needed was a razor and a hat. Definitely much more comfortable like this now that I'm in this warmer and drier environment. So I put up the hammock and move it back and forth. I kind of like it here. I think I'm going to leave it here for a bit. Well, I showed you guys downstairs. Now let's go up to the cool part. Let's go upstairs. Definitely my favorite part of this setup. I spend every morning up there just sipping on my cup of tea looking out. I was honestly expecting some strong winds, at least at some point, coming from the open canyon, but no, honestly it was just nice slight breezes that felt really good the whole time. So every morning I would take a few-hour walk to find a really nice place far away from camp to use the bathroom. And you won't believe what I found here.
Probably can't even tell I've just had shice here. Yep. Get under that log. Staring at this beautiful giant antler I just found right up there.
I didn't see any gnaw marks from rodents or anything, but it's definitely weathered, been through at least one winter season. But wow, this thing is giant. I just can't believe it. Ever since I spotted that first antler while driving, I've been looking everywhere for more. I must have walked up to at least 300 different sticks thinking they were antlers. But this was just right in my path, clear as day. This big, giant, white thing just in the dirt, just laying there. So yeah, now I just gotta figure out what I'm gonna do with it. I really wanna turn it into something, put it on my truck somewhere. And on top of that, I need to figure out where I'm gonna store it. It's a pretty awkward shape. But yeah, shortly after finding this, my time at this spot came to an end and I decided to head south. I had in mind Gila National Forest. So let's go.